Hey y'all, I'm here with my brother-in-law, and he has a need for a shallow well pump. He needs an irrigation system, and I was approached by some people a while back that said if I was ever interested in putting in something like this, they would send me something to try. So full disclosure, they did send this to me, but we're going to hook it up to his shallow well so he has a way to water his garden. Set it and forget it. No fuss, no muss. So what we have is a 1 horsepower Lanchez shallow well jet pump. I don't know that this is a jet pump, but it will work with a shallow well. So we're going to open up and check things out. Full disclosure, I have already opened the box. I hated doing that, but I knew that if I didn't, there would be a fitting or attachment or something that I needed and didn't have, and we'd have to stop this video and start all over again. So I cracked it open to check, to verify, so we're good to go. So we're gonna take it out of the box. Help me out there, brother-in-law. Okay. All right. And what we can do, so I can show you on the video. Hope that's good. It's designed for continuous duty. This type of pump differs from other shallow well pumps that it has to run all the time to give you water. If you want something that will fill, stop, and then continue to fill, you need a pump that includes a tank and a pressure switch. So this will be running all of the time. Keep that in mind. Okay, it does have a stainless steel impeller, and it's portable, which makes it real handy. It will move your water from the pump distance out 147 feet, and it'll draw water up to 26 feet. So let's get this thing out and see about getting it hooked up. Okay, and it has a 1-year warranty. Now, when I said I had to open it to check to make sure we had everything, these are the 2 things that you're going to need to make this successful. You do not have to have this, but I'm gonna tell you why I recommend it after I tell you what this is. This is a 1-inch NPT, National Pipe Thread, to a garden hose adapter. The inlet and outlet on this pump is 1-inch NPT. This is a hose that on one end has a 1-inch NPT connector, and the other end has a foot valve. Now this is very convenient because with a foot valve, once you prime your pump, you don't have to worry about it losing prime and continuing to fill your pump every time you need it. So you don't have to use this. You could use a standard garden hose with another one of these connectors, but I would highly recommend that you get either a check valve or a foot valve to keep the water from running back down into your well where you have to continuously prime your pump when you need it. Okay, that being said, let's get the pump out of here. It's got a convenient handle. It's got instructions that men aren't supposed to read, but we're going to take a look at. Here you go. And a bag. So, give you a closer look at this. Here's a pump. It's 9.5 amps. It says it's for indoor or outdoor use. It's completely sealed. Got your nice little cord and on and off switch. And here are the connections. There's your outlet, and here's your inlet. I'm pretty sure we're going to check. Now you can fill here or you can fill here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hook our hose up to this and disconnect this to do our priming with. Okay, directions. I need the English version. Make sure that we have, let's see, here we go. You get two men together, man, just never know. All right. I was correct. This is where you're going to be sucking from the well. This is your outlet that is going to be going to our garden hose, to our sprinkler system. So, I think we can figure it all out from here.
And it does take suction height.
Okay, again, 26 feet is as much depth as it could suck from. Other than that, I think we're set to go. Now, the next thing we would do, and I would recommend, because what you don't want to do is take your hose, put it down your well, and have this thing sitting on the very bottom, especially if you have sediment in it. So you want to, we're going to take our pump off, and we're going to drop a line with a weight on the end. There you go, Lloyd.
Thank you, sir.
And we're going to measure the depth, and we're going to know where we can put this. And we want it about a foot or foot and a half from the bottom, so we don't have any chance of getting any sediment in this if we can help it. Okay, so now we're set to use our hose. So what we're going to do next is take the pump off and get our measurement done and get this thing hooked up and get the water in the garden. So, for ease, we're going to take the pump off with the pipe and then take the pipe out, rather than trying to lift everything like macho men and balance it up in there, because that's just silly. All right, let's see if you're man enough to twist it. How tight is it? Uh-oh, look at this.
Got it?
I got it. This is so much easier with two people. Come on, man. You can do it. There we go. All right.
Aim for one of the forks up against them. Yep.
I ain't gonna miss that. Oh, you talking about going between them?
Yeah, possible.
Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we're going to check our depth. Here, Lloyd.
All right, let me do this real quick.
What we doing? Oh, wiping your hands off. Come on, man. That's what britches are for. Come on. So you just gently lower this in the well till it bottoms out. Then we're going to pull it up, and we'll use that measurement to know how far down we want to put.
And just to show, I have water that high or that deep in the. This just touched the top of the water.
Okay.
So I have that much water in the pipe of a 25-foot pipe.
Okay. So there's a lot of water in here. You probably got, what, 10 feet of water?
At least.
And full disclosure, we just had some terrible storms that came through here for the last couple of days. So we've had a good bit of water redistributed into our groundwater system. You gonna catch a fish?
Oh, I would. Kind of like ice fishing. All right, there's the top of the pipe.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of leeway here. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't have a lot of. Oh yeah.
Water should be wet.
I'm wet right here.
Okay.
So, man, we hold that right there.
All right.
We're still wet. Lord of mercy. This thing's got water. Oh man. Okay, so we're good. We're going to put this thing down in. You can measure. We're going to just say, I'm going to say we're going to put it down in there 15 feet. Yeah. And we'd be good at planting. All right? So, let's get this thing hooked up. And these are adapter. Now, one thing I didn't bring with me to do this, you would want to put some Teflon tape or something on these threads, because a good sealed connection keeps from introducing any air into the system, and I have the opportunity of that happening because I forgot to bring some of that with me. So what I'll do is I tighten it up real good, or not terribly tight, which that's not going to be wide enough. That's why we have lots of tools. So we don't want to overdo it. We just want it nice and snug. Okay, that's good and snug. This for garden hose. Take this tie off here. There we go. And this is what's going down into our well. Actually,
can we break it there?
Yeah. We're breaking it apart because it's easier to tighten up that way. It's got a nice nylon bushing. There we go. Now, see if this, it does. It spins, so it'll tighten up. So now, the clown show, trying to undo a hose. Let's see if we can get some of the, don't lose your washer. Okay. Oop, I'm introducing some. Okay, let's go ahead and lower that thing down in there. Mr. Wingspan. Feel good about that?
Don't seem to be the fish are biting right now.
Okay.
Is it curling?
Huh?
How long was this?
25 feet, I believe.
Let's go right there.
Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to attach this into our pump. This is just a real easy way to do it because it makes it simple to disconnect, and it is for a single application. All you're using this for is basically irrigation. So now we got everything good and tight.
We need to prime the pump.
Well, we'll go ahead while I'm hooking stuff up. We'll go ahead.
We got enough.
Well, I'll tell you what. Lift that up a little
Got
bit.
it.
There we go. All right. Now we're gonna hook our garden hose up. And we need to prime a pump before you start. If you try to do this thing right, it will burn the motor out and you'll be buying another pump. So, there's two ways to prime it. You can prime in through here, or you can prime in this hole right here. They all go to the same cavity. I chose to do it this way so I can just go ahead and hook the hose up. So you take it off, there's a little rubber gasket that should stay on this. You want to make sure that stays good and clean. We're gonna, because I know we're gonna make a mess, we're gonna move this stuff off of here. Thank you, sir. And we're gonna turn on our hose. Make sure this is off. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. What you want to do is just fill this thing up till it starts running out. This is exciting, isn't it? We're gonna watch paint dry in a minute. There we go. Okay. We should be good, so we're gonna put our cap back on here. Then we turn our pump on.
Yeah, we didn't check power, did we?
Nope. Okay, we're going to check power.
Right now.
There we go. Slowly but surely. Getting all the air out of the system. You see the sprinkler, it's trying to go, working all of the bubbles. Yeah. There we go.
We have sprinklers.
There we go. Got a little bit of a kink at the hose where it enters this. And there we go. You see we got a leak right here. Again, like I said, I didn't have any tape. So that's a way that you can use one of these pumps to water your garden. Now, again, keep this in mind. This thing has to stay on all the time. It runs all the time. You cannot cut, you can't put a faucet or spigot on this thing. Pressure will just build up. It's designed to distribute water the whole time. If you need a system that you can, that you need to have a constant water supply ready to go, you could use this, but you're going to need a pressure switch and a tank. That way it will fill up to a particular pressure, it will cut off, and when the pressure gets at a low enough amount, the pump will cut back on again and give you more water. So anyway, hope you found this useful. Lloyd, I hope you find this useful.
I enjoyed it.
And as usual, good luck with your project. Yes. Okay. As soon as we shut down, we realized there's a few things we should have mentioned. So we're going to do a quick little addition revision so we have a good understanding of what we mean or our intentions. One, when you're priming your pump, and if you have your foot valve on it, you saw how long it was taking once we turned the pump on for the water to get to the sprinkler system. The reason was, when we primed our pump, we neglected to prime our hose. So with a foot valve in it, it's real easy to do. Even before you attach this hose to your pump, go ahead and fill your hose up with water. Get it good and full, then attach it to your pump. It'll cut the priming time in half. Then prime your pump. It will run, when you're priming your pump, it will run from the pump, finish the little bit of water that wasn't in here, and when you turn it on, it's the length of time that it will take for your sprinkler to start working will be the time it takes it to get from the pump through the hose to the sprinkler head. That's one. The other, when you get finished, if you remember, you can't leave these running or leave them on. Disconnect everything, drain your pump, and close the inlet and outlet of it so nothing gets in there that could cause you problems later on. And the other thing, if you are doing this and you're back and forth with your shallow well, good idea, do something to cover that up. Now I know my brother-in-law here, he gonna put his shallow well pump back on there so there's no problem. But don't leave that thing uncovered. You're gonna get something in it. You may get an animal that gets a little curious and gets in there, and then you're done. So cover that up, and that'll help take care of any of those little problems. So again, I hope you found this video useful and helpful, and as usual, good luck with your projects.